What is going on today, guys? So, as you can see, I got a nice blue hat on. This is actually my high school hat for baseball. So this is what this video is going to be about, talking about playing baseball overseas during high school, all the things I did. So, yeah, definitely. It's all about baseball, from when I started playing t-ball to coach pitch to kid pitch up until now. So, I played t-ball. I was overseas actually in Japan when I started playing t-ball. I was in first grade, and we all played MWR. So everyone that played, we all, of course, is the usual t-ball situation. Everyone played different positions. You didn't play the same position each game. Everyone had a chance to do what they wanted to, and we were all kind of like at the same level because there was no like year-round kind of thing. It was just t-ball, and that went on through first, second grade, third grade. Moved up to coach pitch, and same thing. All of us at the same level. We all played MWR sports. So there wasn't like there wasn't anyone who was like really like good, like over the top. Like this kid's a ball player. And then I moved to Maine, and for every time we've moved, it's always been over the summer. So I've never really been able to like stay on a team and play. So in fourth grade, moved to Maine, and I was playing kid pitch at that time, and so it was a little bit different because all those kids have already played kid pitch before, like the year before, or they started over the summer, and I didn't because I was moving. So it was actually fun in Maine because I was actually on a very fun team. The kid actually, who was like the best player on our team, because he was playing since t-ball, and every summer he would just be at different sort of camps. His name was Carlisle, and actually fun story. So it was when I first started playing on the team, I wanted to be the catcher just because like all the equipment was cool. Ever since I was in t-ball or coach pitch, I just wanted to be the catcher because I just thought it was so cool to have all that equipment on and just look awesome. And so it was the next inning, and Carlo was pitching. They're like, "Hey, we need someone to catch," and I was like, "I'll do it." Never caught before. Never. I didn't know anything about catching. I just know put the ball in my glove. And he actually pitched very fast for his age. And I was catching, and I blinked, and the ball hit me in the chest, and it seriously knocked the wind out of me. It seriously knocked the wind out of me. And I was like, whoa. So at that point, I already knew that like I was already behind everyone else. Even during that, and I didn't even get to finish the season. We ended up moving to San Diego. We were only in Maine for like 9 months, so we left in like April. So yeah, I didn't even get to finish the season. I played like 2 games. So and then we moved to San Diego. I didn't play any sports. I didn't play any baseball out there because on the base they didn't have very good MWR teams. Like they didn't get a baseball team that year. And then at the schools they didn't have baseball either at the school I was at. So I didn't get to play. Then all through middle school, never tried out because all those kids were playing together since like t-ball, and I was not good at all. I'd never really advanced well in baseball because I was always moving. And over the summer in middle school, I was always camping. I was always doing scout stuff. So yeah, throughout middle school, never really got to play. Never got good. So which then brings me into high school, and so freshman year, that was interesting. So before I continue on the next part, but right now I'm working on a cut. I was bulking when I first got back. When I first got here, I was bulking, but I was looking at like pictures from my junior and senior year, looking at like the different way my body was. I've been lifting since at least my sophomore year. Not like heavy weights, but like at least getting some weights on me, getting some sort of like stress on my body to keep the muscles moving. So I looked at my body junior year and senior year. Junior year was basically the whole year was a cut in the idea. I didn't know I was cutting till now. Now that I've done like a lot of research, a lot of understanding of like my body and like what I need to do for it to look a certain way or to get stronger, to get better, stuff like that. And so basically my junior year, it was an entire year of cutting, and I didn't realize that. And my senior year, I started bulking, and again, like I said, didn't realize I was bulking. I was just like, oh, heavier weights, stronger muscles, look better. But as I found out, it's not necessarily that. So just looking at my body the way it was my junior and senior year, I really want to get back down to like that lean look my junior year. So yeah, so I'm gonna be cutting for a while until I get back to the way I want to, and then after that I'm gonna bulk back up. But by the summer comes, I'm gonna definitely gonna start cutting before the summer. I'm gonna get my cut down before spring break because I'm planning on going down to LA for spring break and meet up with a lot of friends, and we're just gonna spend the week there, and then after that I'm gonna go back to Sicily to go see all my friends graduate. So yeah, I definitely want to have this cut out throughout the summer because I'm gonna be in some sunny places, and I definitely want to have my whole body look tan. So yeah, now I'm gonna go in. I'm gonna do a tricep, bicep, and core workout. So actually, I've been trying to incorporate throughout this cut. Usually, I just did like core on leg days. So now I'm gonna be doing core every day, or correction, every other day, just so I can keep stress in the abdominal core area while I go through this cut. So yeah, so bicep, triceps, and core. So check you guys later. So just finished up in the gym. So it was kind of hard because there were so many people today. Today was like a special day where people got a half day or something like that, or early release off work. Anyways, so it was really hard to film. I don't think I can use any of the footage just because there were so many people. And I didn't want to like have to go to everyone and ask like, hey, is it okay if I film? So yeah, so I don't think I'm gonna have anything, but just a summary. Just did triceps, biceps, back, a little bit of delts just to get those flowing. But of course, I just started out with like about 5 minutes worth of core. Yeah. So I moved to Sigonella, and they didn't have a football team. They didn't have any. They barely had enough for a volleyball team that year. They actually had to disband the football team that year just because there wasn't enough kids. And so so then I talked to the baseball coach, who happened to be the art teacher, and I was like, hey, I'm interested in playing baseball. He goes, cool, we'll love to have you. And that was it. That was just it. There was no tryouts, no nothing. When baseball season came around, it was on the team. And because we were such a small school, we didn't do like year-round stuff like as the team. It was all individual. So if you really wanted to play baseball or basketball or soccer or wrestle or whatever, you did it yourself. There was no year-round practices. Just because it was such a small school, we couldn't do it. So yeah, I started baseball, and I went out a couple times with my friend Jake. He's like a big brother to me. Really is. He taught me a lot of things my freshman and sophomore year. He was a junior my freshman year, and so he's at Missouri State University. But yeah, so I would go out a couple times with him, and man, I sucked. I could barely play catch with him. So, and then when baseball season started, we had about 15 guys, And so me and all my friends, all the freshmen, we were all outfield. And my freshman year, let me tell you, my coaches didn't think I could catch a pop fly, and I probably could. I did end up breaking my nose before I could catch a pop fly. So after that first year, I was so fed up of the way I was as a player. So I decided myself, my freshman year when we went to champs, we played in a tournament for the championship for Europe, and we got slaughtered. I mean, I don't even think we won one game. I don't think we won one game. No, we did. Correction, we did, because we got to the quarterfinals. And then we got knocked out. And I just felt like we could have done so much better. In my freshman year, I told myself that we will win champs. I will start, I will be the best player I can be, and we will win champs. So my sophomore year, I played volleyball in the fall, and then in the winter, I trained. I trained with my friend Jake and anyone else who came out. For my sophomore year, I transferred from outfield to second base. Me and my friend Ruben, me and him, he was the same year as me. He's actually at basic training now, going to be in the Air Force. So congrats to you, man. Definitely a big accomplishment for you. But me and my friend Ruben, he's Puerto Rican. He's a lovable guy. He's awesome. He's funny. He's just so chill. And he was there a lot for me, my freshman and sophomore year. I was in almost all the classes with him my freshman year, and same with sophomore year. We were all in the same class, and he was kind of the other person who really helped me get started with weightlifting as well. So Ruben was a big part of my life for the first 2 years high school, just because it's like we were just so close, man. We were truly best friends. I would talk to him about anything, and I really wish that I could keep more in touch with him. But I know if I ever seen him again, it's not even like we haven't seen each other. We just pick up where we left off. So me and him played second base together, and he really pushed me a lot that season. I played here and there. I started in the outfield that year, in right field, and I would play some games here or there at second base. And it was a lot of fun. And that year, we had a lot of good players. It was kind of like a building year. We kind of got it together, but just not enough to get the push. So, but we did have a milestone. We beat Vicenza, who was a Division I team. We're a Division III team. So we were really excited when we beat Vicenza, especially because they had probably the best catcher in the region. Levi, he's now at college. He's playing college ball, and he's a good player. But yeah, so we were really excited when we won and we beat Vicenza. So yeah, so my sophomore year we were getting better. Still couldn't get it. We didn't qualify for the semifinals that year. A bunch of teams moved up, so it was no longer quarterfinals. It was pool play. If you made it through pool play, semi and finals. So yeah, that year. We got knocked out. It was kind of emotional, just because it was like when we got knocked out, that was it. A lot of us we were kind of close that year. We got a lot of new players that year that ended up being really good players throughout the next couple of years. But yeah, it was very close. It was a very close season, just throughout all the times we were playing for all the teams. My junior year. I was starting second baseman now. Throughout the summer, I trained between my sophomore and junior year. Same thing happened my junior year. Played volleyball in the fall. The winter, I trained, and I actually had he was the coach my sophomore year. He's actually a really good friend of mine, Brandon Brashears. He played high school ball, and he played some junior college ball. And I tell you what, he's a fun guy. He knew a lot about baseball, and he helped me a lot. He really helped me with my swing. Really helped me out with my swing. And he conditioned me. So that was big help. So yeah, and then my junior year, I think my junior year was really a big, we had good talent. We just couldn't get it together. and I wish we could have, just because it was that team. It was the infield. We had so much fun. The infield was just we're just having fun. My best friend Austin playing shortstop, me playing second base. I mean, we just had that connection. And actually, this is probably my favorite, probably the funniest story of the entire of playing baseball at the school. We were in Aviano. We were playing Ansbach. Ansbach and Hohenfels that weekend. We played 4 games in total. And on the bus ride up, we bussed everywhere. And so, like, busing to Naples is 8 hours. Busing to Aviano can be anywhere from 19 to 23 hours, depending on how it goes. So, the entire bus ride up, me and Austin sat across from each other. And he was talking to Coach Nick. And he was asking, he's like, so, Coach Nick, like, what if there's, like, a pop fly in the infield? He's like, your call. You have it as a shortstop. It's your priority. And we just watched a baseball video, and it was, like, different players, like, positions and stuff like that, like, what they really say. And the second baseman, they showed, like, what second basemen say. And they were like, shortstops get all the credit. And I thought that was pretty funny. But it was reaffirmed, like, officially, like, shortstops do get all the credit that weekend. There was a pop fly right over me. I mean, I took maybe 2 steps back. And they weren't even big steps. It was just kind of like 2 little shuffles. And I said mine. And next thing, like, I barely got out the word mine. And next thing you know, I hear Austin running from shortstop. Mine. And he pushes me out of the way. And he catches the ball. And I'm going to put the picture in this video. Yeah, that was, as we were walking back and he caught the ball, the biggest grin on his face. And as I'm walking in, I put up my hand. I'm like, shortstops get all the credit. And that was the joke for the rest of the season. Shortstops get all the credit. And it was a lot of fun. That was a fun weekend. But yeah, we got up to champs. We just couldn't do it. And then I told myself, and I told my friend Ethan. He's the only kid that I still played ball with from my freshman year all the way to my senior year. We're the only 2 kids from the original team. And shout out to Ethan, man. He's a good ball player. He's smart. He's athletic. He's changed so many positions. He started out in left field, went to center. He caught. He was actually, me and him were the other 2 catchers my junior year. I played second and catch. And me and him alternated. So yeah, went from left field to center field to catcher to third base. And he took it in stride. He wasn't mad. He was like, Roger that, coach. So he played all those positions. Great ball player. I mean, Ethan, man, you're good players. So I looked at Ethan and I told him, and we both agreed that we were going to win champs my senior year. So again, same thing. We played volleyball together in the fall. We trained together in the winter. And then with a new coach, Coach Carter, or Coach K, we call him that. He's from Georgia, and I'll tell you what, he's the funniest guy you'll meet. I mean, listens to rap like no one's business, like the old school NWA kind of stuff. And he's a fun guy, great guy. He's a great naval officer, great leader. And his son Mason played travel ball, played in Georgia. He will definitely be a good player his senior year. I mean, phenomenal player. So yeah, over the winter, anyone who was free during the winter, we trained with Coach Carter. And as we trained with him, we kind of realized, we're like, okay, this is good. This is good. We're looking good. And then the first week of practice, we had 16 guys. 16 guys. That was probably the most we've had since my freshman year on the team. And I think a lot of them really wanted to be there. I know that I wanted to be there already. And some of the new guys that were there, I wasn't sure. But then after the first week of practice, I was having dinner and with my mom and my dad looked at me and he's like, so how was your first week of practice? I was like, really good. Everyone hustled, everyone pushed, everyone did what they were supposed to do, and if coach told them to do something else, they did something else. And I looked at my dad and I said, you know, Dad, we're going to win champs this year. He's like, well, the season's really long. You don't know that. There's so many other factors. I was like, no, we're going to win this year. And so there were ups and downs throughout the entire season, at practice, during games. I mean, we went from 4-0, blowing out the two teams, Vicenza and Aviano, one weekend, and then getting blown out 12-0, 13-0 against Naples the following weekend. And then we turn around, and we get one home game a year, one home game, and we play under the lights Friday night on the turf field, and we've lost every year. But that whole week going up to it, the Friday night game, we were pumped, we were ready, and Friday night we beat Naples 2-1 on a walk-off. It was probably one of the most emotional moments I've had at a home game, just because it was so much work throughout that 4 years to beat Naples, our biggest rival in the region, and we beat them Friday night. I felt I was on a high, the biggest high I've ever been on, of winning a game, and it just felt amazing. I mean, we had walk-up songs. It felt like a real baseball game, and it was awesome. It was the best game I think I've ever played, and it'll probably be the best game I will ever play. So yeah, we beat Naples, and that felt great. And when we beat them, I knew right then. It was the last game of the season too. And when we beat Naples, I knew then that we were gonna win. So we go to champs, and we're seeded first. We were seeded the number 1 team, and we played AF North the first day. We lost them 5-4, but that didn't really matter at all because we destroyed Hohenfels. We beat Ansbach in the semifinals. Then we played Bitburg in the finals, and let me tell you, going into that game against Bitburg, it was probably the most nervous I've been about any game, about any event in which we're competing to be the top, to win. It's the most nervous I've been. It was 4 years of hard work, of devotion, of motivation and love for the sport that was all riding on this game right here. An hour and 50 minutes of game time against a really good team. Bitburg went undefeated the entire tournament until they played us. And we beat Bitburg 11-1. And it was... I can't even explain the emotions that I had after I saw that. It was the last batter of the game. It was 2 outs, and Alex was pitching. Alex Ogletree, a really good ball player. If you guys haven't yet, definitely go check out his video. He made a recruiting video of him playing third and first, and him hitting. Check it out. Alex Ogletree recruiting video. Definitely check it out. He's a good ball player. He's smart. He's fun. And he was pitching that game. And when he threw that last strike, it was the 14th strikeout. It was a called strike. Oh my God. I just was on a cloud. And we were all huddled up, like hugging each other on the mound. And I was crying, man. It was just, for all the players that I played with throughout my entire time in SIG, from my freshman year playing with Gunnar and Kevin, those seniors, to my sophomore year playing with my big brother Jake, his senior year, Tommy's senior year, his best friend, and then Austin's senior year, who's another one of my really good friends, and then it was my time. All those players that came before me, that pushed me through all those 4 years of pushing me to be better, and for me wanting to be better, me wanting to play. It was, the emotions were high. And especially that season was really rough for me.
I got hurt. I was out for half the season. I had a hip injury, and then 4 days before champs, I hurt my back. So I was playing second base, and I had to move out to the outfield. I just couldn't move the way I could in the infield, and I was very scared. I was very upset that I missed that much of the season, and especially Friday night, the last home game, my last home game, and I was a designated hitter. I'm not really trying to complain about just being a designated hitter. I was still in the game, but it just kind of hurt that I didn't start in the field Friday night. It was my last home game in my senior year. It probably will be the last time I play baseball, unless when I go to college, I go to a small team I can walk on. But it really hurt. In my senior year, this last season, my last season, I missed half of it. I didn't play. I just hit on Friday night, and I struck out. All 3 times I was up to bat, I struck out. It kind of sucked. But all that changed, and all that, I didn't care about all that when we won, and we got first. I didn't care about any of that anymore because we were the champions. We showed everyone that we are here to play, and we want this more than you want it. And I was honored to be on the all tournament team, for the coaches to pick me to be out of all the players in the entire tournament, for me to be one of the 9 guys to be on the all tournament team. It was just such an honor, and that was my goal, was to win champs and be on the all tournament team, by my senior year, and it all fell into place, and you know it felt great. I love the sport. I love baseball. Um, it is definitely a passion of mine, and I miss every single guy I played baseball with. I wish I could play baseball with them for the rest of my life, and I wish I could play baseball right now. It's such a fun sport. It's such a great sport, and it is definitely one of my passions. So yeah, that was my baseball. That's been my baseball story. Started out from not being able to play because I moved around, to sucking, and now I was on the championship winning team, and was a good player. And I thank all my coaches and all my players for pushing me. From Jake and Ruben pushing me through those years, Brandon conditioned me during the winter, and most importantly, Coach Nick. He was my coach my freshman year all the way up into my senior year. And it was probably the biggest moment in my life, was probably right then and there when we won. And he gave me a big hug, and he said, "I'm proud of all the accomplishments you've had freshman year to senior year." And the fact that he said that, I mean, there's nothing in the world better than hearing one of your mentors tell you, "I'm proud of you." So I'm sorry, I'm getting kind of teared up. It's just, it was a lot. It was a big part of my life, and I miss those guys every day. And I wish every single person I've played ball with the best luck in their life, whether it be in the military, the civilian field, or even continuing their passion to play the sport. I wish you the best of luck, and you guys are definitely probably the most influential people I've ever played with. And I truly think that you guys are great people. And if any one of my other teammates called me up right now and said, "I need your help," hands down, I would help them. I would help anyone I've ever played ball with any day of the week, because they're just such great guys, and they wanted to be out on that field, and it was amazing. So yeah, it was that's been my baseball experience. So last thing, like on a real serious note, guys, um, if you've been watching the news lately, you've been seeing a lot of the natural disasters that have been happening from Hurricane Harvey that hit Texas, Hurricane Irma that hit Florida, and right now the hurricane that just struck through Puerto Rico, the earthquake that happened in Mexico, the fires that happened in Montana, everything that's going on. You know, it really humbles you, really makes you think of everything that's going on in your life and how well that some of us have it, and how grateful it is that that's not happening to us. So all my friends that have family in those areas, I pray for you guys. I hope everything's okay. I have a lot of Puerto Rican friends, and they haven't heard. Some of them haven't heard from their family. Some have, and I hope everything. I pray for your family, for all my friends that have family in Puerto Rico, all my friends that have family in Florida and Texas. I pray for you guys. Even for myself, my grandma and my aunt were in Florida. They're okay. We heard from them afterwards. Then I have an uncle in Houston. He was okay too. There was no flooding, but it just really makes you think about everything and about all the things that people are going through and how well your life is. And it really humbles me to see all these people wanting to help out, to wanting to fundraise and send money to these areas, maybe not even have homes anymore, or any sort of remnants of their family, of no more pictures, no photo albums of everything, or just stuff that they had from their grandparents or their great grandparents, and it's gone now. So on a serious note, guys, you know, think about it. Think about, before you complain about something, think about what someone's going through right now in those areas. And definitely just support, guys. That's all they need. They need your prayers, and if you can send them something to help, food, money, whatever, seriously, help in any way you can. So I really didn't mean to bum you guys out with that, but that seriously, thinking about it lately, that's what made me think. Seeing the news really made me think about them. So on a positive note, we're growing, guys. Keep growing. Like, subscribe, share the video. And again, if you guys have any questions, message me on my social medias. Instagram's military nut, my Snapchat's military_nut, or you can just comment on my video and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. So yeah, keep it growing, guys. You guys are fabulous. You'll stay beautiful now.